Good day everyone. We are group 10, so we are going to discuss the chapter 2 entitled System Architecture. System architecture is a conceptual model that defines the structure, behavior, and more views of a system. System architecture for a formal description and representation of a system organized and support reasoning about the structure and behavior of a system. So we have the chapter objectives. Provide a checklist of issues to consider when selecting a system architecture. So, sa checklist, kailangan mag-provide og usa ka mga issue na i-consider pa mag-select ka og system architecture. Describe servers, servers-based processing, clients, and client-based processing. Unsa i-describe ang mga server og mga proseso nga nakabase sa server, mga clients o mga client-based processing. Explain client or server architecture, including types, cost-benefit issues, and performance. Compare in-house e-commerce development with packaged solutions. Discuss the potential impacts of cloud computing and Web 2.0. Explain the difference between online and batch processing. Define the network topology, including hierarchical, bus, ring, and star models. Explain network protocols and licensing issues. Describe wireless networking, including wireless standard topologies and trends. Describe the system design specification. An effective system combines elements into an architecture or design that is flexible, cost-effective, technically sound, and able to support the information needs of a business. So, ito'y pinagsasama ng mga isang epektibong sistema sa usa ka arkitektura or disenyo na flexible siya o epektibo sa gastos. Technically sounds, may mga kakayahang suportahan ang mga nangangailangan ng mga impormasyon ng negosyo. So, example, para effective ang imong system, just follows the process. Start by identifying an action that you take on a regular basis. To analyze what you're currently doing, you must plan your new process, execute your plan, then continuously improve the system. If you do it, then your system successfully effective. System architecture translates the logical designs of an information system into a physical structure that includes hardware, software, network support, and processing methods. So, sa system architecture, mao ni ang mga structural design sa mga system. Ug apil na dito ang mga hardware, software, network, ug mga pamamaraan ng pagpoproseso. Example of system architecture: client o transaction system. Client is a computer system or typically a personal computer connected to the internet either directly or indirectly through an internet service provider. Though a corporate network, a buyer uses client's computer for browsing and purchasing. So the transaction system is the computer system that process a particular order and that are responsible for payment, record keeping, and other business aspects of a transaction. Enterprise Resource Planning or ERP. The objective of ERP is to establish a company-wide strategy for using IT resources. ERP means Enterprise Resource Planning. Siya ang mo establish sa usa ka strategy sa tibuok company, such as for using the IT resources. Also, it is a process of gathering and organizing business data through an software. And enterprise resources planning can also improve the quality and efficiency of the business. Supply chain management or SCM. Supply chain management, mao ni ang mga mo centralized management. of flow of goods and services and includes all processes that transform raw material into trial products. Example ang mga manufacturing, mga farming, designing, packaging, or transporting. Initial cost and TCO. During the final design stage, you make decisions that you will have a major impact on an initial cost and TCO for a new system. You should also review all previous cost estimates. So, usa pa ang final design stage, maghimo ka og decision nga naay dakong epekto sa initial cost or sa TCO nga bag-o ang system. Scalability. Scalability, also called extensibility, refers to a system's ability to expand, change, or downsize easily to meet the changing needs of a business enterprise. Scalability gitawag usab og expandability sa system sa pagbago or sa pag-minus na aron dili matubag ang nagbag-o na panginahanglan or needs sa usa ka negosyo. Especially important in implementing systems that are volume rated such as transaction processing system. Ilabi na sa hinungdanon sa pagpatuman sa mga system na gimarkahan sa kadaghanon sama sa mga system nga pagproseso sa transaction. Scalability is a measure of a system's ability to increase or decrease performance and cost in response to change in application and system processing demands. Web integration. An information system includes applications. Web-centric architecture avoids many of the connectivity and compatibility problems that typically arise in marketplaces. When we say web integration, mao ni ang usa ka mga system na may information pati ang mga aplikasyon. Example, a website sends or receives information from another websites or applications. So, ang web integration pod iwasan ang maraming mga problema sa connection o sa compatibility na karamihang nangyayari. Legacy system interface requirement. The new system might have to interface with one or more legacy systems. Interfacing a new system with a legacy system involves analysis of data formats and compatibility. The analyst must know if the new application eventually will replace the legacy system. Bag-o tingaling sistema kinahanglan nga mag-interface sa usa o daghang mga legacy system ug ang pag-interface sa usa ka bag-ong system nga adunay usa ka bilin nga sistema involves ang analysis of data, format o compatibility pod siya. Kinahanglan pod ang nga mahibal-an sa analyst kung ang bag-ong aplikasyon sa katapusan magpuli sa system. Processing options. In planning the architecture, designs also must consider how the system will process data online or in batches. So, in processing option is a parameter in which you enter a value so control has an interactive or batch programs runs. Mga option sa pagproseso sa pagplano sa architecture. Kinahanglan usab nga tagdon o i-consider sa mga designers kung giunsa ang pagprocess sa data online or in batches. So, provision must be made for backup and speedy recovery in the event of system failure. So, unya kinahanglan himuon ang provision sa pag-backup og paspas nga pagkaayo sa higayon nga mapakya sa pa ang system. Security issues. Security threats and defense are a major concern to a systems analyst. The analyst must consider security issues that relate to system design specification. Web-based system introduce additional security concern. When we say security issues, mga trait ni siya na pinakaunang concern sa usa ka system analyst. Dapat ang analyst i-consider ang security issue na ma-relate sa design system. Ang web-based system pod may additional concerns puts niya ang security issues. For example, online or to the internet or web browser. Mao ni ang mga vulnerable traits sa usa ka security. In planning the architecture, server, client, mainframe architecture, server-based processing. So, ang server, when we say server, di ba it is a computer or a system that provides resources, data, services, or programs to other computers. Then, client. Client, when we say client, is a system that uses remote services from the server. Mainframe architecture, mao ni sadya ang mainframe computer used for large-scale computing applications such as a data storage. And then, server-based processing. It is a computer which helps in supplying data, processes, services, and other data to more than computer. Planning the architecture. So, clients. As PC technology exploded in the mid-1980s and 1990s, powerful microcomputers quickly appeared on corporate desktops. Users found they could run their own word processing, spreadsheets, and database applications. Companies linked the stand-alone computers into networks. So, ang unang mga 1980s or mga 1990s, sila ang technology kay kusog pa ni adto ang microcomputers. Unya dali ra pod siya magpakita sa desktop. Ang mga users tigamit nila ang mga own words sa pagproseso sa spreadsheet o sa mga application nga mga database. So kaning gilink sa mga kumpanya na stand-alone ra na ang mga computers into networks. Clients. Stand-alone computing. Ang stand-alone computing is a device is able to function independently of other hardware. Then, ang local and wide area networks, muna siya ang is a private computers network that connects computer in small physical areas. Example, a small office, a single building, multiple buildings into a campus, inside a campus, or etc. While the wide area is a type of computer network to connect offices which are located in different geographical locations. For example, niya is internet. And that's all. Thank you.
Processing method. We have here a 3 different processing method. An online processing, batch processing, and combined online and batch processing, or a point of sale processing. So, online processing. Because it is interactive, online processing avoids delays and allows a constant dialogue between the user and the system. The online processing can be used with file-oriented system. So, we have here an example, an ATM query processing. We talk about the online processing system. An ATM has to go out your bank ATM, or say an ATM outside of your bank has to do the data connection to your bank. The bank has to give enough information to that ATM for a certain period of time to make sure that there's money available for you to withdraw from your bank, and then transfer that back. Take care of your accounting that that would house the money from one bank to another, all online, all secure. As you may or may not know, each time you connect the financial institution site that is using SSL certificates, you have an encrypted connection just for that season, which means if I log out, log back in, new encrypted key, new encrypted season. So, batch processing. The IT operation group can run batch program on determined schedule without user involvement during regular business hours, at night, or on weekend. Requires significantly fewer network resources than online system. So, batch processing are we still will still with us after all these years. We still see a bunch of batch processing done, things that we don't necessarily need to process throughout the day, so that idea maybe, transaction. Now that I mean by transaction is we may process a transaction through the point of making sure the funds are available, making sure the products are available, getting that transaction working, and then in evening process the rest of the information around that transaction that works inside the business, so that we're not using valuable resources during the day or when we're operating. We can have our computer working 24/7 or 365 to do the processing on the back end when it's convenient. Last, the combined online processing. So, point of sale or POS processing. Many retailers use a combination of online and batch processing when a salesperson enters the sale on POS or the point of sales terminal. The online system retrieves data from the item file, update the quantity in stock, and produce a sale transaction record. At the end of the day, a batch processing program produces a daily sales report and update the accounting file. So that picture is represent the combined online and batch processing. Network model. The OSI reference model or Open System Interconnection. The Open System Interconnection model consists of 7 layers. There are 7 layers. Each layer performs a specific function. Others, a set of design standards. That pictures is the example of the OSI reference model. So, network protocol. In all cases, the network must use a protocol, Transmission Control Protocol or TCP, and Internet Protocol or IP, File Transfer Protocol. So, the TCP or the Transmission Control Protocol is a communication standards that enable application, programs, and computing devices to exchange messages over a network. It is designed to send a packets across the internet and ensure the successful delivery of data and messages over the network. Next, the IP or the Internet Protocol. The Internet Protocol is the method for sending data from one device to another across the internet. Every device has an IP address that uniquely identifies it and enable it to communicate with and exchange data with other devices connected to the internet. Then last is the File Transfer Protocol. File Transfer Protocol is then responsible for transporting and routing data through the network architecture and ensuring it gets delivered to the destination application or device that IP has delivered. Network topology. We have 5 different types of network topology: the hierarchical network, the bus network, the ring network, star network, and the mesh network. So, the hierarchical network, it mirrors the actual operation flow of the organization. One disadvantage of the hierarchical network is that if a business adds additional processing levels, the network becomes more complex and expensive to the operated maintain. Also, the hierarchical network design separated a network onto distinct layers. If you see the pictures, that the example of the hierarchical network. The hierarchical network design separated a network into distinct layers, where each layer has a series of functions that define its role in the network. Because of this, a network designer can choose the optimal hardware, software, and features to take a particular role for the network layers. Second, the bus network. The bus network device can be attached or detached from the network at any point without disturbing the rest of the network. Overall performance declines as more users and devices are added. Today, the bus design is much less popular. That's the example of the bus network. Also, a bus network is a local area network or a LAN topology in which each node or a workstation or other device is connected to a main cable or link called a bus. All connected stations on the bus can communicate with all others on the singular network segment. If you see this picture, they are all connected in a one device. It is the departmental server. So third, the ring network. A ring network is a network topology in which each node connects to exactly two other nodes, forming a single continuous pathway for signals through each node. Data travel from node to node, with each node along the way handling every packet. That's the example picture of the ring network. Ring network also have a disadvantage of a ring network is that if a network device fails, such as a PC or a server, the devices downstream cannot communicate with the network. It is also the Multi-Station Access Unit or MAU. Fourth, the star network. The star network is a complement of a spoke hub distribution paradigm in computer network. In a star network, every host is connected to a central hub. You see that they are all connected on a switch. That's the example of the star connection. It is simplest form. One central hub acts as a conduit to transmit message. The star network is one of the most common computer network topology. Disadvantage of the star design is that the entire network is dependent on the switch. So if the switch is not working, all of that is all of that stuff can't work. Then, however, in the most large star network, backup switches are available immediately in case of hardware failure. So, last is the mesh network. The mesh network can relay messages using either a flooding technique or a routing technique, which makes them different from non-mesh network. With routing, the message is propagated along a path by hopping from node to node until it reaches its destination. While this design is extremely reliable, it's also very expensive to install and maintain. So, mesh network is also originally developed for military applications. Routers. Routers differ from switches in that they work at a higher OSI level, or the Open System Interconnection. Routers can connect to a larger dissimilar network such as internet. Routers is a gateway, and routers is a proxy server. This is the examples of routers. That. Routers get the internet, then routers give the internet to proxy server, then proxy server give it to switch, then switch give it to all of these terminals and PC. That's the example of routers. Network modeling tools. As you translate the OSI logical model into a physical model of the network system, you can use software tools. Also, the network modeling is describe the architecture, components, and design used to establish communication between the source and destination systems. The last is the network licensing issue. Software licensing restriction. Network licensing issue needs to be considered in network design because of the software licensing restriction.
Hi everyone, today's video I will be going to discuss wireless networks and system design completion. So when we say wireless networks, it is set up by using radio signal frequency to communicate among computers and other network devices. So a wireless local area network, or WLAN, is one of the main types of wireless networks. It links two or more devices using a wireless distribution method using a collection through access point to the wider internet. So a wireless network standards is 802.11. So 802.11 was the first developed by the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEE, and the amendments of the wireless network standards are assigned letters, and while many amendments have been released, so the most commonly known are 802.11a, 802.11b, 802.11g, and 802.11n. So it provides up to 2 megabytes per second transmission in the 2.4 gigahertz band. So wireless network standards is 802.11g. That's what I said. 802.11g is an amendment of 802.11 standard for LANs. It is the specification that is more commonly known as Wi-Fi. It operates on the 2.4 GHz microwave radio band and support data transfer speed up to 54 megabyte per second. So 802.11n uses multiple input, multiple output or MIMO technology to boost performance. MIMO relies on multiple data paths, also called multiple path design, to increase wide and range. So wireless network topology. So there are three available for IEEE 802.11 WLANs, or the basic service set, extended service set, and independent service set. So basic service set, or BBS or BSS, are also called the infrastructure mode, has a central wireless device called an access point or wireless access point or WAP to serve all wireless clients. So access point, however, is a sub-device within the local area network that only provide access to the routers. Access point can be used in homes, business, and public area. Extended Service Set, or ESS, is a wireless network created by multiple access points which appears to users as single. Seamless network such as networking covering a home office that is too large for reliable coverage by a single access point. Roaming. Passing from one access point to another is called roaming. This is simply similar logic with mobile operator roaming. If a client change BSA or basic service area, then check for a new app or EP or access point, and if finds, then connected to this new access point. Independent Service or ISS. So it is a service set that allows wireless devices or mga station to communicate with each other, any medium or central device. So dili ni siya mag-contain or mag-include o bisag unsa nga access point. That's why it is also known as an ad hoc mode or peer-to-peer network. So peer-to-peer network simply means two or more devices or station or PC connected to each directly and share resources without separate server computer. So ISS is a service set that is rarely used. It is only required when two or more devices such as mobile, laptops, tablets, or etc. want to share or transfer file, music, pictures without connecting to any wireless network that an access point provides. So it is considered as one of the simplest IEEE 802.11 networks, but it provides short and covers a small area. So wireless trends. So Wi-Fi Alliance is a global network of enterprise to provide you with the world's most valuable Wi-Fi communication technology services. So Wi-Fi or wireless fidelity Wi-Fi stands for wireless fidelity. So, nag-allow ni sa devices such as computer, laptops, smartphones, or etc. So, to connect to the internet and exchange the data to device. So, Bluetooth is a wireless communication technology that can be used for close range data transmission from one digital to another. So, Bluetooth is magamit ni siya kanang mag-transfer kag files, mga music, mga pictures, videos, or mga bisag unsa without even using an internet connection. So, on additional to 802.11 protocols for LANs, IEE is working on 802.16 standards, MANs or Metropolitan Area Networks. So, a Metropolitan Area Networks is a computer that connects computers within a metropolitan area, which could be a single large city, multiple cities and towns, or kanang mga multiple buildings, or kanang sa university. So, MAN is larger than a local area network, or LAN, but smaller than a wide area network, or WAN. So, kan siya magamit ni siya sa kanang mga large cities or mga university. WiMAX. So, WiMAX is also a wireless MAN. It was initially designed to offer a wireless alternative to internet connections to homes, usually by way of cable TV system or DSL, or digital subscriber line of a telephone company. Its technology is based on IEE 802.16 set of wide area communication standards. So, system design completion. So, system design completions, a document that presents the complete design for the new information system, along with detailed cost, staffing, and scheduling for completing the next SDLC system implementation. So, a typical system design specification uses a structure similar to the following. System architecture marks the end of the system design piece, the SDLC. Activities in the system design piece are preparing a system design specification, obtaining user approval, or delivering a presentation to management. Yes. System design specification is a typical system design specification uses a structure similar to the following. So, management system. So, when we say management system, one is so a brief overview of the projects for company managers and executives. So, it outlines the development efforts to date, mag-provide siya mga current status report, mag-summarize siya og mga project cost, mag-review sa mga benefits sa mga bagong system, mag-present mga system implementation schedule, o mag-highlight siya mga issues that management will need to address. So, number 2, system components. So, it contains the complete design for the new system, including the user interface, outputs, inputs, files, databases, and network specifications. So, you include source documents, mga report and screen layouts, DFDs, and other relevant documentation. Also, it includes the requirements for all supporting processing and file retention. So number 3, system environment. It describes the constraints or mga condition affecting the system, including sa mga bisag unsang mga requirements that involve operations, mga hardware, system, software, or security. Examples na include transactions, volumes that must be supported, data storage, mga requirements, processing schedules, mga reporting deadlines, o mga online response times. Number 4, implementation requirements. So, implementation requirements nag-specify ni sa start of processing, initial data entry or mga acquisitions, magamit og training requirements, and support test plans. Number 5, time and cost estimate. Nag-provide ni sila detailed schedules, cost estimates, staffing requirements para sa mga system development space, and revised projections for the remainder of this DLC. You also present total cost, total date for the projects, and compare those costs with your prior estimates. So number 6, additional material. So this can include at the end of the system design specification, you might insert documents from earlier phase if they would be helpful to readers. So user approval. So users must review and approve the interface design, report and menu design, data entry screen, source documents, and other areas of the system that affect them. So, ginahanglan ang mga users mag-review. And other IT department members also need to review the system design specification. And when the system design specification is complete, you distribute the document to a target group of users, IT department personnel, and company management. So presentation. The first presentation is to the system analysts, programmers, and technical support staff members. Your next presentation is to department managers or users from department affected by the system. The final presentation is for company management. Management might reach one of 3 decisions: proceed with system development, perform additional work on the system design phase, or terminate the project. And thank you.